Hello, my name's Robert McDonough and I'm an Australian, but I live here in Bali. Look at my closest neighbours. Isn't my friend beautiful? Follow me and I'll show you my house. This is my car. And this is my house. And this is my garden. I'm actually a musician and I play the piano and I sing and I also play the flute. And this is my euphonium. I also sometimes play in gamelan, which is kind of like a band, and it's an Indonesian type of band. Okay, so let's go downstairs to my kitchen. I was born in a little country town called Mariba in far north Queensland. It's just near Cairns. And that's not very far from Darwin really, which is where you live. But now I live in Bali. It's a little island in Indonesia, not far from Darwin. I said before that I'm a performing artist. I'm also an actor and a director, and I just love making movies. I've been making a movie here in Bali, and I'm editing it at the moment. Have a look at my editing tool. You might enjoy watching me on one of my favourite beaches at the very beginning of one of my movies. That's me climbing out of the water. In Australia, I couldn't afford to pay rent, or electricity, or phone, or water rates, or have a car and buy petrol, or even have healthy food, or new clothes. And definitely couldn't afford to go to restaurants, or to theatres, or to the gym, or to join any sporting clubs. In Bali, I rent this lovely home and I have a good car and I can live a very comfortable lifestyle. I can afford to travel to other places like Singapore or Malaysia, and I can afford concerts and I can afford theatre and I can join social clubs because I can afford it. Now the reason I can afford it is because our Australian aged pension is a lot more than people earn in normal jobs here in Indonesia. And the cost of everything here is a lot cheaper than the cost of everything over there. So I'm not very rich in Australia, but I live a very comfortable lifestyle here. I was asked if I had any real fears when I came here. Well, I didn't, because I already speak the language and I understand the culture. I've been here many times before, and also I don't worry about anything here particularly because I don't think there's anything much to worry about really. There are no dangers any different here from what I have in Australia. I could walk out on the street in Australia and a car could run over me, or I could fall down a set of stairs in Australia just as easily as I can here. I can get sick in Australia just like I can here, so that sort of thing really doesn't worry me. The main danger is in losing your wallet, because you usually have credit cards and identification, such a driver's license and things like that, in the wallet. It's not the money that's the problem. It's trying to get a replacement of your bank cards and your driver's license. Costs a lot of money and takes a lot of time, and it means you're stuck here with no money at all for a while. I was actually very excited when I moved to Bali because I knew that I was going to start a whole new life, make a lot of new friends, have lots of new experiences, and I knew that God was with me every inch of the way. I love my fish pools. This one here's got a fish called gourami in it, and gourami are very yummy for eating, and that's what that pool's about. One of the questions that was asked was, how do the people who live here treat me? Well, they treat all visitors beautifully because the Balinese people are very, very, very friendly. They're very helpful. No matter what your problem is or who you are, they will do anything they possibly can to help you. One thing, however, that is different from Australia is that when you're living here, you know that people are watching you in a caring, loving way. You know that when you're in trouble, even if you don't say anything, they will know and they will reach out to help you. In Australia, people don't want to know a lot of the time. Of course, there are some bad people here, but of course, there are some bad people in Australia. There are some bad people in England. There are some bad people in America. But most people are really very nice, really very friendly, and really very helpful. Well, it's night time, and we're going to a restaurant, and I want to show you some of the food that you'll see. This is one of my favourite restaurants called Chakwiro. First of all, we wash our hands. Okay, follow me. There's some nice food in here. But we're not going to eat any of that. I'm going to order something. I'm going to have a mixed fruit juice. They're yummy. And I've chosen to have naga fruit, that's this one here, dragon fruit, and apple. And this is the way that you say welcome or thank you, or just be generally polite in Bali. These things are called krupuk, and you eat them with your meal or with something to drink, and they are yummy and crunchy. Well, our food's arrived. Here's my tea. I'm having black tea with no sugar in it. It's called teh panas tawar. And I'm having duck with rujak, bumbu rujak. That means a fruit salad. It's really nice. Rice and a little bit of vegetable as well. And here is that fruit juice that I told you about. Look at the lovely colour there. And it tastes beautiful. Time to eat. Some people use these, but I don't. I eat the Indonesian way, so I use my fingers. There we are. I finished. What a beautiful meal it was. There was another dish as well, which was very, very yummy. Well, that cost 80,000 rupiah. That's about $8 in Australian money. Try to work out how much it might have cost in Australia. I think close to about $30, $40. Yummy. Okay. I'm buying some young coconuts. They're called kalapa muda, and they've got really good water in them and yummy, very soft flesh, but they're very good for my health, and I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, and these cost $1 each. So think how much you'd pay in Australia for one of these.